Hello, everyone. Dan here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we'll be doing a review for Marvel Zombies Black, White, and Blood #3. This is the new book from Marvel Comics. I'm very excited to talk about this. I'm loving this anthology. It is just so much fun. So let's take a look at the creative team here very quickly. We're going to get some stories here by Peach Momoko, and then also Matt Grom and Alessandro Vitti, and then lastly by Cheryl Flynn and Lynn Eden. So Cheryl Lynn Eden and Leandro Fernandez. So let's take a look here at some of the stories, and I'll go through what I thought of each one of them. So we have the first story here. This is Juju and the Gift of the Insect Bead. As I mentioned, this one's gonna be. So we have the first story here. As I mentioned, this is Juju and the Gift of the Insect Bead, written and drawn by Peach Momoko, translated by Zach Davidson, and then also with letters by Ariana Maher. Now, this story follows a bit of lore it's been really very well implemented. This is a story from the Demon Days, so some of the characters may look a little bit familiar. Demon Days is the part of the Marvel universe where Peach Momoko has been telling a lot of stories. There's a lot of one shots there, reimaginings of a lot of the Marvel characters, and here we have a bit of a combination and a fusion of like the zombie genre included with some of the mythology that Peach Momoko has woven into her stories. It is very cool. As you can see from the art, very jarring, very like definitely going for the whole zombie vibe, but it's a little bit different, right? These zombies are a little bit different. I think even with the restriction of just using the black, white, and the red, Peach Momoko takes full advantage of that to build out this really jarring narrative. But it's full of like still all the fantasy elements that Peach has woven into the Demon Days mythology, and then including some of the local folklore, probably like just kind of woven in there, and of course with the fantastic art, like it's just really cool stuff. The next story we're going to talk about is a Black Widow Hawkeye story called Already Dead. This is by Matt Grom with art by Alessandro Vitti, colors by Peter Pantesis, and letters by Clayton Cowell. Um, this one is just straight up action. I really enjoyed it. I really like how because of the color structure and the black and white, to me, this one felt very much like Walking Dead vibes. I think that's some of the things that made that comic really cool was just the big use of the black and white. Now, of course, here I think Vidi and Pentesis really managed to enhance that experience via their art and the inclusion of the red coloring. This one's full of action. It has a really cool sequence where Black Widow is just shooting a lot of guns because, of course, in a zombie apocalypse, guns are going to be ablazing. And yeah, just a really interesting narrative device they use. There's a big surprise for the Black Widow here, and I think it's a really fun way to bring that in. So I quite enjoyed this one as well. Really fun stuff. And then we'll be moving on to the last story, Surprise Mother Strucker. This is by Cheryl Lynn Eaton with art by Leandro Fernandez, Mattia Ayacono on colors, letters by Clint Cowell. This is Sweet Christmas, a Luke Cage story, which is really fun. I like the throwback feel of it. This is like Luke Cage from like the 70s era. We get to see that in the outfit, the disguises, the not disguises, the costumes, like the clothing that people are wearing, and of course, when you include the Von Struckers, I think really funny enough is that in this one, the Von Struckers are the ones that are causing all this kind of nonsense to happen. Right? There's no zombie outbreak or anything, but of course, as these villains try to enhance their own people, things are gonna go wrong, and they kind of create the zombie outbreak themselves. But how does a zombie apocalypse attack a man who has impenetrable skin? So there's definitely a lot of really cool exploration of some of those little things, along with just some really gritty, really dope art. I really appreciated the exaggerate, like really the exaggerated use of the blood really adds a lot to this story. So once again, a book full of three really fun stories. Like I love these little niblets of like no pun intended of zombie stories and zombie lore. I'm a big fan of the Marvel Zombies concept, and I think that a book like this just has so much freedom to let these different creators explore it. Of course, there's some really cool covers at the end of the video. Stay tuned for those. And in this case, we actually get at least one of the covers has, of course, the Peach Momoko is it's very much about the Peach story, but we also have a variant cover that actually has some of the characters that are in the anthology. As I had mentioned before, I think one of my complaints was that the covers that we were seeing, like even the variants, none of them had the characters that were in the book. So I wonder if that was just kind of like an editorial thing where they were trying to shuffle around the stories where I'm sure there's people working on different timelines, so I don't know. But we do have a cover with Luke Cage, Hawkeye, and Black Widow, which we all saw in this issue. So I found that really funny. There's a really cool homage as well to the Pepe Larraz cover from House of X, Powers of 10, and then of course an homage to She-Hulk. So here, take a look at those covers. Very much, very reminiscent of the homage to the original Hulk cover as well, with She-Hulk and Jenna Walters. So, yeah, quite enjoyed this book. I'm really enjoying this anthology. Let me know what was your favorite story from this time around. Let me know what stories you've liked from previous issues. I've been doing these kind of reviews afterwards because I think these books are a lot fun to talk about. So, quite enjoyed them as well. So, as always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here on the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.